Morning guys, it's a bright one today, can't even blooming see. So yeah, my life's pretty chaotic. It's one thing that Sarah always says to me, your life is really chaotic. I think like everyone is similar to me. You have phases where you kind of sort things out and then you have phases where it just kind of all goes to... And right now is one of those times. So I'm vlogging today guys, got quite a few things to talk about. So let's get stuck in. So first up, I want to say a couple of things about the store. So in the store now, I've added a load of options for the KIRBEBIKE kit. So now, I think I've probably mentioned this before, but we've got the MTX 39 rims on there, which give you a nice solid rim as an upgrade. And then also there's a 9-speed hub upgrade as well. So this bike has got like a 7-speed. So if you've got a 9-speed hub on your bike, basically that you want to convert to an electric bike, like an e-bike, then you can use the 9-speed, but you can't go any more than 9-speed because of the thickness of this rim. So there is the option for a different hub on there now. So you basically just order that alongside your normal kit, and then you'll get the hub with the compatibility for the 9-speed cassette. So that's that. There's also on there's a couple of other options for brakes. So there's a brake set on there, which has actually got a front and rear lever, so it's a proper full brake set with 2 calipers, 2 levers and brake discs in 160 or 180 millimeters. This particular bike's got 180 on the front and 160 on the back. I think that's kind of quite common. But yeah, these brake levers, not these ones on here because these are just the standard ones, but the upgraded ones have got sensor wires, so you can basically just rip off your existing brakes, and that's what I'm going to be doing this one. But you can just rip them off, and then you can run the sensor wires into the controller, and then that will cut off your throttle, and basically gives you another kind of level of safety to stop the motor running when you're grabbing the brakes. Well, look, there's a little ladybird in there. Also, the vapor frames are all there ready to go, so you can order those. That's battery on there's the KIRBEBIKE battery, the 52 volt from the other kits. That fits on there. You can just see you just end up with a little bit of a gap, so you can do different combinations of this. It works with the Bafang motor as well, so you could actually replicate this exact setup if you really wanted to. There's also something really interesting as well. I've been talking to the factory that make these frames, and we can actually put a 250 watt motor in this frame. It's not actually exactly the same frame, it's a slightly different frame, but that's going to be coming guys. So if you want a completely road legal version of that bike, you'll be able to do it soon. So I'll keep you posted on that. I don't know what's going on with my hair today, it's really sticking up. Go down. I need to give you a little update on the trailer as well. Yeah, I got kicked out of the house the other night. No, I didn't really. I just put this in here because I was sitting in it. So I haven't really done a huge lot in here, guys, since the last video where I was showing this. Mainly because it just took too long to do this anyway. And I just had so many other things I was supposed to be doing. And this project kind of just run over. So there's a few bits and pieces I just need to do just to tidy up, really. But overall, I'm really happy with how it's kind of going. So it's been a little bit grey lately, and I don't think, to be honest, I don't think the batteries actually needed to be charged. So yeah, you can see we've only brought in 0.22 kilowatts. That is basically because the big battery behind here, the one that I just showed you a second ago, is actually fully charged. So all we're doing here is we're just charging up the 12 volt battery, which just runs lights. I've got lights which turn on the outside of this trailer at night. So the Victron controllers have got a really good light feature, like a street light feature, which you can actually get it so that when the solar panel drops to a certain level, it will actually sense that as darkness and then turn the lights on, which is just so cool. So you can actually use these for running, you know, like proper lights outside your house or something if you've got a battery and a solar panel and some LED lights hooked up. It's a useful thing. So really, by the looks of things here, it's what it's just been doing is just discharging a little bit each day from the LED lights that have been on overnight, and then each day it's been charging up, you know, just 280 watt hours or something like that. So that sounds a little bit high for just LED. So I'm wondering if it has been putting in a little bit of charge in the battery behind there. In the cupboard I've got a fridge. I think I've got a can of Coke in it. I mean, that's actually really cold, it's not even on. Anyway, so the other thing I've been having a little bit of an issue with, I don't know if you can see this behind here. So there's a Wi-Fi dongle here which plugs into a USB port on the back of this colour control, and even though my router is just basically hanging out the wall over there on one of the outside plugs, it just is not picking it up. And I think it's the problem with the router, not this actual Wi-Fi thing in here, or the colour control. It's just not picking it up, which means I can't monitor this online at the moment, which is a bit bit of a pain. I know that it's not this because one of my outside security cameras is been a bit flaky at the moment as well. So I need to sort something out. I don't really want to go 4G on this if I'm not going to be kind of using it all the time away from the house, because it's just another expense. But yeah, I might just have to work something out. Other than that, now it's getting a bit colder at night, I'm going to start playing around with this heater and just see exactly how efficient this actually is. Because when it's been below 10 degrees actually the last couple of nights, this just really warms you up if you come in here and just turn it on just as a test. I think because this is a very small area anyway, your body heat is actually going to heat it up in here quite quickly anyway. But this thing, it really does give you a nice warmth. So for those of you who haven't seen this before, this is like an infrared heater and it runs on 200 watts. So it runs on mains, so you can run it off of 230 volts, and it only pulls literally like 180 watts from the supplier. So super efficient. And I was a bit sceptical at first. I was thinking, yeah, there's no way like 180 watts is going to do much heating wise, but it's insane. Like this gets over 90 degrees, this actual panel. So that alone is actually going to radiate in some heat. But the real purpose of these is so they actually heat up the objects that they're pointing towards. And you do feel it. Like if you turn that on and you put your arm here, you can actually feel the heat coming off of it. And you don't get that with a radiator. So it's a really interesting technology. Anyway, nice sunny day. And it's just sitting there doing its thing. Sarah's been ordering chicken stuff. What's that?
A feeder.
It's a feeder.
Another one. Because I'm worried that they might fight over one feeder.
Fight?
Well, there's a pecking order, isn't there?
Is that actually such a thing, isn't it?
Yeah, one of them might end up being bullied and might not be able to get to the other feeder, so...
Can't show you the new chicken house yet because Sarah hasn't put a video up yet, but I can show you this. So following on with the theme of the LED lights, which I was talking about in the other videos, a company called O-Light has sent me this little torch to take a look at. This is really interesting because of the size of it and the amount of power that it's supposed to have. So if we look at the specs, it says 1,000 lumens on turbo mode. 1,000 lumens for something that is like that. Now, I don't really go by this kind of all this lumen stuff because you know how kind of varied it can be and how they test these things, but basically it's damn bright. I was trying it the other night and I just thought that is pretty insane for something so small. I think it's a combination of something to do with the optics they're using and also the battery that they've got in there, which is one of these little 16 340 cells. Now, you know, you normally see, I mean, I'm really familiar with obviously 18 650s and stuff for the e-bikes, but this little thing, an IMR 16 340, I've never actually seen one before, but apparently this is a 10C battery. I mean, it's just madness. So it's supposed to be waterproof, impact resistance and throw resistant. Well, oh, throw. I thought that meant, you know, you can throw it 145 metres. And it's called the S1R baton. Nice packaging as well though, you get this nice little carry case. Another thing I like about it is the little charger. I mean, you know, I do get sent some stuff in the post and a lot of it is rubbish, to be honest. And, you know, I just thought this is actually pretty good. You know, it's things like this, the little magnetic kind of charger base that just plugs in and then it just clips on the bottom there, which charges it up. And you've got like there's an LED there as well, which basically glows red or green to show whether the thing's charged or not. So it's just little touches like that, quite nice. Right, catch up time then, guys. It's a little bit later now, it's like 5:30, and so it's approaching 6 o'clock. Sarah's gone out to go and meet her friend, so I'm going to go and take the bike out, I think. I'm going to take the Vapor out again. I'm just addicted to that thing. It's just mad. But yeah, loads has been going on today. I just feel like I haven't really vlogged much, other than the sort of the bit in the morning and the stuff about the torch. So we'll try and make up for it with a bit of e-bike, rambling, off-road. So I've got some tracksuit bottoms underneath. I know I don't protect your legs much. I'm going to wear my Alpine Stars jacket. It's coming into that season now. I really like that. And then obviously my Fox full face helmet. I'm looking at getting another full face helmet actually, because that one's getting a bit tatty now. I got some nice gloves the other day as well, some sort of proper motorcycle ones, which, you know, definitely, you definitely need gloves if you're going to be. I know you see a lot of these rides when I'm out and I'm not wearing gloves, but it's mainly because it's just been really hot. But now it's coming into the season now where it's going to start getting a bit slippery soon and stuff like that. So I'm definitely going to start wearing more protective gear. So like an off-road racetrack around here. So this is the gear, guys. This is what I've got. So Fox helmet, Oakley goggles, and then the Alpine Stars jacket. So it does me. These are the gloves I've got, Frank Thomas ones. Pretty nice. Got a bit of knuckle protection there. Quite sort of lightweight. Overcooked that one a little bit. This is warning sharp bend on the sat nav, on the Garmin. Oh no, somebody has cut that down. I thought that the other day. Made it a lot clearer to get through it. The old airfield, guys. Whoa! It's a good place to do some test runs. It's a bit bumpy though still. A few nasty potholes as well. Gotta watch yourself. The only other bike it'd be tempting to go faster, but I don't know, could run into some trouble. What's up here? This looks interesting. Quarry. Interesting. Something caught my foot then. Oh no! Damn it! Oh, I've done a cog. It's a cog I've done. Which cog is it that's gone then? That one. My favourite one. Right guys, a bit later now. Good little session on the e-bikes. So I had basically worn this sprocket out. I was thinking this has lasted quite a long time now because I've been doing wheelies and all sorts of other things with this, but I think I must have done a couple of teeth or something on this particular one, because when I was riding, as you saw in the video, it's I've basically stripped this. So this is quite normal when you get to this sort of power level, you know, these normal kind of bike sprockets. This has lasted longer than the others. I think this is a Shimano one. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I can never remember what it is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is a 10-speed Shimano one. I think I just bought this from like Halfords or something. Just readily off the shelf, easy to do, easy to get hold of. This has lasted a lot better than the previous one that was on here, which was like a Sun Race one, I think. This Race Face 42 tooth on the front is pretty bulletproof. I'm not expecting this to go. These teeth feel pretty good. It's all things to bear in mind anyway. Hubs, you won't have this problem. Hub motors, you won't have any problems like this, but you will have other problems, like you won't be able to get the back wheel off easy. Where's the hub? That's a hub motor. Yeah, you won't be able to get the back wheel off that easy if you get a puncture, things like that. So, you know, swings and roundabouts, this is really easy. You just whip that back wheel off like you would just a normal bike, because there's no motor in the rear. Also, the mid-drive is a bit nicer, you know, for off-road stuff, because it balances the bike a little bit better. I need to tighten this up. This went loose while I was riding as well. So I need to get this back on charge again. I've been using this charger. This is the Charger-y one, which I've got on the website as well. This is awesome, and it allows you to charge this battery at 4 amps. Yeah, this particular battery, don't want to go any higher than 4 amps charge rate really, just to be on the safe side. So this you can set to 4 amps. I don't know why this ain't turned on. Oh, I've got it turned around the other way. Yeah, so you can actually set this to 4 amps. This is the good thing about that. Other than that, you can just use the slow charger that comes with this battery, and then that'll obviously just charge it. It'll take quite a long time, but it's all right. I mean, I do it. I do it overnight, this one, because it's quite low, you know, low charge rate, so it's not too much of a problem. If I want it done in a hurry, I use this one, and I use this one for the big bike as well, or the satiator, cycle satiator. But I've got the cycle satiator, who's actually in the trailer at the moment, running that. So that's all plugged in. And we've got a red light on there, so that's just gonna charge up. Anyway, I want to wrap this video up. I want to finish it up by showing you the torch, because it's pitch black outside. So I'm going to show this again, just to give it another little test. This is my really bright security light. Right, it's pitch black. I probably should be using this torch so I can actually see if there's any dog poo on the floor. Right, so that I think is on the highest one. So you've got 3 settings. See, low, medium, and high. That is high. That's the fire that I was burning earlier. That, I mean, it is impressive, isn't it? Look at that. We'll start having aircraft landing at my house. It's just madness. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave it on, make sure I'm not treading anything. No, there was one round here. There it is. Oh, something moved over there. So I'm going to leave this on for a minute and just see exactly how hot this gets. So let's see the little green indicator that's showing that you've got, you know, you've got ample battery left over in there. So I think that goes green, amber and red to show your battery indicator, which is kind of cool. I like that idea. So yeah, I'm going to leave it a couple of minutes and we'll see how warm it gets. I remember a long time ago when the LED side of things started to kick off, I used to have these little LED key rings, and they used to run off those little, you know, those little sort of lithium batteries, the CR20 something, those little ones anyway, little 3 volt cells, and it used to run off that, and it used to have just a little LED at the front, and that used to be super bright. And we used to walk back from the, I used to walk back from the pub with it after a couple of beers or whatever with some mates, and I used to have that on my key ring, and it used to just light up the lane we used to walk down. But yeah, it just shows you how far things have actually kind of moved on now, and you can have something like this small in your pocket or in your key ring or whatever, you know, that just kicks out a serious amount of light. Just a little temp test then. So what's that saying? 32, 33, 34. So that's been on for a few minutes now, and it's not really getting any hotter. Test the battery as well. Similar sort of temperature, probably because it's actually in the housing as well. Anyway guys, that's enough of that. That's it for this one. I hope you've enjoyed it. Make sure you like and subscribe, do the usual stuff. Follow me on Instagram as well, and I'll catch you in the next video.